First, Maine spent a few days in the auto racing spotlight at the end of last month. The annual classic car rally called the Great Race finished its 9-day, 2,300-mile route with 3 days in Maine.
It brought about 500 people from the actual race teams, but many hundreds more turned out at the different stops to see the cars and learn what it's all about. 207's Don Kerrigan was one of them and heard the racers say it's a road trip like no other.
With a horn and a siren, Peter Brown and Susan Nurse rolled down Freeport's Main Street. Their 94-year-old Model A Ford with the custom wooden boat tail leaves no doubt that Team Freeport is home.
It was fabulous. You know, it's just so nice to have the support of the community and so many people coming out to see the event and to cheer us on.
Susan is the town's former police chief and couldn't resist showing off a bit. This is their 6th year running the Great Race. Susan is navigator, Peter's the driver.
I love the old cars, the look of them, the sound, the experience of driving them.
And that same affection drove Jim and Luann Stewart to come for the show.
You drive down the highway today and you can't tell one car from another, but when you go see classic cars, they all have a unique body style.
Like this 1960 Jaguar, driven by 2 Brits, one from Maine.
The thing about this car was that it was used by the bank robbers in England, and the police could never catch it.
The Great Race has been running 40 years. It's actually a rally for cars 50 years old and older. This year, the race began in Kentucky and wound its way to Maine. 2,300 miles total, around 140 cars and teams. Freeport was day 7. Day 8, the Owl's Head Transportation Museum, where their own car was first to arrive after a major repair job for Ron Quebec and James Callion.
Yesterday we wound up putting a transmission and rear end in the car. Today car ran beautiful.
The race has a motto that to finish is to win. So the fact that we are actually here after everything we've been through is we feel like winners, we really do.
Also feeling good was the team for this car, a 1931 Rio Racer. Driver Charles Harris and navigator and mechanic Phil Reinhardt. He grew up at the museum.
Mechanically rock solid, really only 2 issues. I think 3rd or 4th day, the bolt that holds on the gas pedal broke.
Oh.
So we fixed that real quick.
But
and
after the finish line.
It was 5 seconds after we crossed the finish line.
It was a blessing.
Harris was still pumped up after a good day's run.
And like today up in Acadia, we had tourists pulling out in front of us. We're running 45 miles an hour and they pull out directly in front of us.
The race is all about time and exact speed. Teams are given written instructions for the day. No maps, no GPS, just notes where to turn and how fast to go.
40 miles an hour after this sign. At that sign, you'd actually have to split the sign exactly at 30 on the dot, go to 20, run 20 for 1 minute and 48 seconds, and accelerate to 30. So they're doing these time changes all the time.
The idea is get to the final destination as close to the perfect time as possible. It can be a matter of seconds. The challenge of that, and a $50,000 final prize, pulls teams from all over the U.S. and some other countries. Day 9, downtown Gardiner. People packed Water Street to watch the end of the Great Race. Especially the hometown lobster car, a 48 Ford from right here in Gardiner. It's run 10 great races. Ed Chapman and Guy McDowell happy to be home after what they say was 9 days of total concentration.
You gotta watch the road, you gotta watch your speed, and listen to your navigator, tell you what to do.
Ed is part owner of this car, along with his friends Frank Crooker and Peter Prescott. Prescott worked for years to bring the Great Race to Maine and Gardiner.
Because I think it's a great thing, 1, and 2, it's really good for the economy and the people and the people to see it.
And in many ways, it's a win for the racers and their teams as well, including our friends Charles and Philip with the old Rio. They made it to the finish.
Cadillac sedan DeVille.
And there may be a new generation of racers coming up.
I'm 16. I'm 18.
Like these two, Vauden and Max, from the Classic Car Museum in Arundel. They seem to love the challenge.
So you got to be really aware. You have to be watching, doing math, making sure you're on course, time, and starting on time.
And at the same time, they are all out on the open road, discovering new roads every day. Maybe the great race is the essence of our classic American driving dream.
Man, they have so much personality, those cars.
Great stuff.
By the way, that team in the old Rio, Charles Harris and Phil Reinhardt, were the top finishers of the 10 Maine teams and finished the 9-day event in 26th place overall out of 140 entries. That's pretty impressive.
That's good. The winners were a team from New York who have won the Great Race 5 times. Next year's Great Race will start in St. Paul, Minnesota and finish in South Carolina. And it sounds as though some of those Maine teams will be eager to try again.
I bet.